What's that you got cooking?
Apple dew stew with apple dews. No. And the day before, it was fried apple dews.
With apple dews.
Sorry, but in my defense, we have a pretty limited set of ingredients.
Hey, I wasn't complaining. I'm glad that you're doing the cooking. Otherwise, I'd be eating, I guess, apple juice.
Oh, did you have a chance to look at the engine?
It does seem like it took some damage upon landing, but I should be able to fix that real quick.
I also have some good news.
What's that?
I love you. Oh, with the lights off? Works for me.
No, I didn't do that. We must have run out of flow.
Weren't you supposed to charge up the nest today?
Excuse me if I was working on the engine. I can't do everything.
If I'm lucky, I'll stumble upon something to spice up the apple dews.
I'll come with you.
How long do you think this is gonna last?
The flow? Well, if we keep our consumption in check, I think a few days.
No, I meant us. Us here. How long until they come get us?
Do we have to talk about this?
We are going to need to at some point. We need to be prepared. We need a plan.
I'm planning on finishing my plate without hearing about the apiary. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay.
And FYI, you are the one that ruined the mood, not me.
You?
All right, let's talk about it. Fine.
I was just gonna ask if you could switch off the light.
Oh.
You've been mulling it over this whole time?
Of course I've been mulling it over this whole time. Thank you for adding one more thing to my mind.
Hold on, are you telling me you hadn't thought about it before?
You know what? No, I hadn't thought about it. I'm trying not to think about the apiary. Enjoy what we have here, even if it isn't much. Do you really think that they can come get us here?
If we could take the flow bridge here, then so can they.
But there's no way they can know where we are, is there? I cut off the auto-nav, the astrolock. Even the landing was all manual.
I'm just saying, let's prepare for the worst.
At worst, I kill myself.
You? How can you even say that?
What? Do you think I'll let them take me back there? You can do what you want, but I'm not going.
We could also, hide?
Oh, yeah. Hiding is good too. It's even better because then I don't die. Aren't you the smart one? Come on. Enough grumpy face. I promise I won't kill myself unless I ask you first. Just in case you have a better idea.
That's not funny, you.
50% of this planet's inhabitants think it's funny. I guess we'll never know who's right. Snuggle?
I'm not sure you deserve it. You aren't dressed yet?
I put on my pajamas.
I mean, to get out.
Well, see, I was just wondering, do we have to get out? Can't we just hang in the nest for once? Lounge around, read a book, watch a movie?
We don't have movies.
Right, sure, but you know what I mean.
Come on, the weather's great.
But the weather is always great.
For now. Who knows? Tomorrow could be the beginning of the long winter months. Could last for years. One more reason to stock up on apple dews.
You know, always being right is not necessarily a good quality. On the contrary, many people find it very unappealing.
You?
Not sure. Is it over?
Seems like it. Anything broken?
No, I don't think so. Well, except...
It's not all lost.
Well, it is. A bit.
Look, we can always search the islet, try and find a way to get to the other side.
Such as...
I don't know. A rope, a jetpack, spring-loaded shoes, anything.
I don't want to be stuck here. It sucks.
Me neither. That's why we'll have to find something.
Okay. Wow. That's... Actually... What is that?
We should take a closer look.
Any idea what's underneath our feet, Mr. Geologist?
Not really. It looks like a dust deposition. Some kind of rust. And it looks like this kind of rust is particularly sensitive to flow.
What?
Look beneath your feet.
Oh. There's vegetation underneath. It was probably smothered.
Good thing we came this way.
I thought this planet was supposed to be a desert.
Deserted, not a desert. According to the archives, a colonization plan had been considered by the apiary, with Exonova as the main provider. But the planet was eventually classified as inhospitable.
Let me guess. High seismic activity?
I don't know. The file doesn't say anything about that.
I hope we don't have any more unpleasant surprises. Whoa. Whoa. There is no way this thing is flying again.
Don't say that. You could make a rock fly with the right tools.
Well, maybe. But not this one. Both wings are wasted. The propellers were ripped off. And I'm not even done checking the inside.
We weren't really planning on leaving, were we? We don't really have another place to go anyway.
I'm tired. Why are we always so unlucky? Why are you laughing?
Hold on. We decide to escape the apiary, which apparently no one has managed to do before us. We punch in some coordinates really at random, only because some obscure document from Exonova vaguely attested to the existence of a habitable planet. By some kind of miracle, we cross the boundaries of the apiary without getting caught. We travel across space in a Class D ship that is totally not designed for that. And in spite of the fact that this is not all-terrain, we land without breaking anything. We find food and flow on site even though we hadn't really planned for it. Finally, we get hit with an earthquake, all right, but we get out of it unscathed. The only real consequence is that the nest is a little bit busted. And you think that we're unlucky? We are the luckiest people in the universe.
That's one way to see it.
This planet is our chance to start a new life. With our own rules. Away from the apiary, from the matchmaker and all that loot. And I'd rather endure 1,000 earthquakes than risk being away from you.
What did you say this planet was called again?
Source.
Source. The beginning of something.
Seems like it.
Whoa. What a mess. And now the nest is all akimbo. This feels weird.
Yeah. We'll need to find a way to correct that. But it can wait until tomorrow. I think we've had our share for the day. We deserve some time to relax. If you know what I mean.
You can do whatever you want, but I am going to bed.
Huh? You okay? You? Wake up! It's okay. I'm here. That was just a nightmare. Everything's fine.
That wasn't a nightmare.
Sure it was. Rest easy.
No! I was awake. I could hear you. I just couldn't move or yell. I couldn't breathe. It was horrible.
Yeah, seemed like it was. Do you want my opinion? I'm not a dream expert or anything, but...
It wasn't a dream. I wasn't sleeping. My eyes were wide open.
No, your eyes were closed.
I'm telling you, they were open. I saw everything. You, the room, everything.
Okay. What I meant was that it may have been because of the nest.
What?
You said you couldn't move. You were nailed to the bed. A bit like the nest which is stuck to the ground, right? You've been flying in this thing for years. I bet you're upset to see it in this condition.
Huh. No kidding. Which means that if we fix up the nest, this'll all go away?
Could be. Worst case scenario, the nest will be fixed.
Yeah. Well, I hope we'll eventually find the missing parts then, so I can get fixed up too.
All right. Now we can see a lot clearer.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but that should do the trick for now. Now we just need to figure out how to level the nest. The tractoglobe is probably done charging. Let's bring it outside.
Do you think it'll be enough to lift it?
I hope so, because I have no idea what else we can do.
It did feel a bit weird at first, but now I can't even tell the nest is tilted. I guess I got used to it.
What? No. You cannot get used to it. We're gonna get the nest out of this crevasse. I don't want to get used to it. Did it move?
No, I don't think so.
Bulging bloot! Ugh, it's over. It's not going back straight. We'll never be able to fix it. We are condemned to living on an incline in a broken ship forever, until our body adapts and one of our legs starts shrinking to even us out.
What's the issue exactly?
Well, the back pain will be crazy, for one. And also, I don't know about you, but I personally like having a reasonably symmetrical body.
I meant with the tractoglobe.
Ah, not enough power, it seems like. The battery drains out even before lifting the nest a centimeter off the ground. Although to be fair, it was originally designed to lift cargo crates into ships, not the ships themselves.
What if we plugged it into a flow spring?
I thought about that, but we'd have to be able to seal the pipe shut. Unfortunately, I don't think they make gaskets for flow springs from a distant planet.
Perhaps we can make one.
With what? Paper mache?
Remember yesterday when I told you that rust scatters when it comes in contact with flow? We could use that feature to sculpt a gasket out of pieces of rust.
You could do that?
I don't think I could sculpt a nude statue of you or a super complex component, but molding a gasket? That seems doable.
That's awesome!
Hold on, let's not start pushing before the panties are pulled down.
Excuse me?
You've never heard of that saying?
No.
Must be a truth thing then. That means let's not celebrate before we...
Yeah, I got it. Anyway, how much rust do you need in order to pull the panties down?
I don't know. 4 or 5 blocks like those we already got?
Okay, so let's try and find that. So?
Well, it fits. That's a good sign. Let's get this ball rolling.
What?
What? Haven't you heard of that one either?
Oh no, I have. It's just a really old-fashioned saying.
Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, that's worse.
Can you just switch on the track to globe, please?
Okay.
It worked!
We did it! Now, we just need to fix up the wings, and the turbine, and the hypopropellers, and...
Don't be so cynical. Getting the nest out of the crevasse was quite a feat.
Huh? No, don't get me wrong. I am genuinely delighted. I love fixing things up. But I don't think we need to get started right away.
That's a relief. You left this toy behind.
That's not a toy. Looks like...
A robot?
almost. It's a Draka. Drone for autonomous cartography. Very old tech. The kind we sent out to Beauty before it was integrated to the apiary.
Oh.
Seems like they pondered integrating Source for a while as well. I wonder why they changed their minds.
Could be the fact that this planet is scattered like a puzzle.
Probably was a factor. The Draka may hold some answers.
You're kidding.
No, really. Stuff from that era was built tough. We may be able to boot it back up. Okay. I might have spoken a bit quickly. The flow circuits are completely fried. But look at what I was able to salvage. The anti-grav chips don't seem to be damaged. I should be able to make them compatible with our boots by tweaking the connectors a bit.
Whoa.
Even better, the mapping module is also working perfectly. If I plug that into the glove's power source, it should... Boom! This should be very helpful for finding our way around the bits of land.
You never cease to impress me.
That's nothing really. These old machines are plain and simple astronautical engineering. Not like the new stuff with boronic nano components everywhere. Come on, give me your boots. Once I plug in these chips, they'll be like a whole new pair.
I can barely figure out left from right as they are.
I am gonna kill them. I swear I am gonna kill them.
Are you sure you don't want to take a break, get some fresh air?
No! These bloating anti-grav chips aren't the boss of me.
I still don't understand what the problem is.
The problem is, there is such a thing as a standard. And the Borons who designed this drone thought it might be fun to improve this standard. Except, if you take a standard and improve upon it, you get...
A better standard?
You get no standard at all! And so now, it looks like I have to machine these boron chips, just so they can fit in these bloating boots.
Anything I can do to help?
No, I'm okay. I'm done.
What? But that was super quick.
Well, yeah, when you have the right tools.
I mean, since you were complaining, I was thinking that it would take a while.
It's a matter of principle. Let's go. We'll see if these work outside. Well, there's no doubt about it now. Source was clearly colonized. Look at these. They don't look like research outposts. These are clearly dwellings.
Huh. I don't understand. Why would Exonova lie in their file?
That's what bothers you? There are tons of reasons people lie. I think the question you should ask is, how was the apiary able to colonize an entire planet without anyone noticing? Where did the people go? What does that mean for us?
That means we're in deep loot. I don't know what happened here, but it's obvious the Apiary Council doesn't want anyone to know about it. If they learned that we made our way here, they probably wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, well, we weren't exactly planning on telling them.
No, that's true.
So, in the end, not much difference. Just looking on the bright side.
You're right. We're gonna need that.
Wow. I was wondering if we'd ever find one.
What is it?
A drone charging station. For those that aren't built to harvest their own flow. Just like our old Dracker buddy. That would explain why its location was still in its memory.
You mean to tell me that this is some sort of flow pump?
No. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
That's awesome! Do you think it still works?
Let's see.
What's the matter?
It says system malfunction, error log sent.
Sent as in...
I don't know, Kay. Sent. Did we tattle on ourselves just now? If the apiary is receiving a message coming from source, they're gonna know it's us.
Hold on. Can this thing really beam a signal all the way to the apiary? We're millions of lumsec away from the closest planet.
Yeah, that's true. I'm probably overreacting.
Until we figure it out, we probably shouldn't stay near this thing. Now, what is this?
No idea, but its engine hood would be a great fit on the Nest.
That's it? Aren't you curious? Don't you want to know what this machine was for?
I know that it's good for nothing now, and we have a Nest that needs repairs.
All right then, let's go.
Huh? Go where?
Well, to the Nest. Aren't we taking the hood?
Yeah. Yes. Let's go. I am happy to say that is over and done with.
You know, that is one nice vehicle.
Of course. I'm the one who built it.
Do you still consider this the same Nest as the one you fixed up as a teenager?
What do you mean?
Well, we just changed the engine hood.
I just changed the engine hood.
Yes, okay, you did. But this isn't the first thing you've changed on the Nest. And I hope it isn't the last one either. So, my question is, at what point does the Nest, the one at the beginning, stop being the Nest? Was it the first time you changed a part? Or will it be when you replace the last original part? Assuming you haven't done so yet. Does it happen sometime in between? Afterward? And even then, before you fixed it up the first time, all the spare parts that would eventually make up the Nest, were they already the Nest?
What about you? Are you still K?
Huh?
Your body cells are constantly renewing, aren't they? Ever since you were born, you probably don't have that many cells in common with the K from the beginning. Actually, you two may not have a single cell in common. So, are you still K? I'll let you ponder that one. K! We need to go home now! You can think about that tomorrow, okay? Ah, a drone parking platform. I was wondering why we hadn't seen one yet.
It doesn't look in too bad a shape.
Yeah. It must have fallen to the ground when its gyro stabilizer ran out of flow.
Weren't you just looking for one of those? A gyro stabilizer?
I was, but I need a gyro stabilizer designed for flight, not a ground-based gyro stabilizer.
What's the difference?
Well, first of all, the flight gyros cost 3 times as much. And secondly, Plute. I think I've been getting scammed my whole life.
Ooh. At least this one is free. So, are we bringing it home?
We're bringing it home.
Great oaks from little acorns grow.
Did you hear that?
What? I don't hear it.
Exactly. If we were on top, or truth, we'd be overrun with mosquitoes at this point. Even worse if we were on beauty. But right now, not one buzzing insect. Not a single sting. Nothing. That is one thing from the apiary I will not miss.
Is there anything from the apiary that you are gonna miss?
No. Alright, I am well aware that it's a bit early to make declarations, and that nostalgia tends to take one by surprise. But no, I brought with me what I held dearest in the apiary. So...
Brought? I'm pretty sure I came of my own volition. What?
Nothing.
No, you were making a funny face.
What funny face?
Hold on. You were talking about the nest, weren't you?
Yes. But you're the most important person to me, for sure. I just don't count you as one of my... things. That is... unless you'd like that.
No.
Huh? What are you doing up so late?
I had an idea. I wasn't able to go back to sleep, so I went ahead and tested it. Want to hear about it?
Yeah, okay. But real quickly. 'Cause the only reason I'm awake is that I have to pee.
Alright. So we figured out that rust was not a mineral matter, nor was it organic matter. So what else is left?
Antimatter?
Correct. I didn't even think of that. But no, if it were antimatter, we wouldn't be standing here talking about it. So considering that rust is neither mineral, nor organic, nor is it antimatter, it could be... flow!
Cool. But you could have just asked me. You can tell it's not flow because flow is blue and all flowy. This is red and all hard.
I'll have you know that I just completed the test, and the rust molecules are precisely the same as those in flow. They're just organized differently. Kind of like water and ice, if you will, just not the same. That's why flow, in the form as we know it, has such a strong effect on the rust. The molecules are binding, unbinding, and...
Yes, sorry to interrupt, but are you almost done?
I guess that depends on how detailed an explanation you need.
The least.
Then I'm done.
Okay, thanks. Gotta pee. Huh. I don't know this drone. Do you think that they developed a new kind especially to explore source?
Are you joking? It's a pallet jack.
A what?
Haven't you ever set foot in a warehouse?
What would I do in a warehouse? I'm not even sure there are warehouses on top.
Of course there are warehouses. Where do you think they store their stuff?
In a stuff box? Come on, let's get this hydraulic cylinder back to the nest instead of blathering.
What are you gonna use it for?
We'll see. Hydraulics are always useful.
If you say so.
Whew, finished.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Just routine maintenance.
The nest hasn't flown in a while. Does it really need maintenance?
It requires maintenance precisely because it's not flying. That way, when it's ready to take off, it'll be fully operational.
Looks like a dirty job.
Ah, that's nothing. Just a bit of gunk. Scrubs right off.
Let's scrub it off right now. We all need a little maintenance, don't you think?
Am I supposed to believe that seeing my hands full of gunk is turning you on?
Certainly doesn't hurt.
Okay. But let me set some ground rules. No gear-based puns, whether it's about nozzles, cylinders, or pistons.
Flange gaskets?
Surprise me. Whoa! Map steel plate has a nice leading edge. I'm wondering, maybe if I rigged the wing root a bit, added a safety slat here, shaved down the trailing edge. Yep, this should make a completely viable semi-airfoil.
Awesome! Semi-airfoil are a kind of curtain, aren't they?
Wings. They're wings. For flying.
Ah. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Are we really gonna lug that around? It looks heavy.
We could just take it straight to the nest. With the two of us, it should be okay.
This is starting to look pretty good. Are you okay? Laying back?
As much as I can.
I can see that. I was thinking. Any idea why I'm always in charge of hanging the laundry out to dry?
Because I don't know how.
You are joking.
I'm not. I know it looks simple, but in fact there's a lot of strategy involved. Should I hang it right side up or upside down? From the top or the bottom? If there are sleeves, am I putting them up on the line with the clothespins? Or am I leaving them hanging? Should you hang it in the sun so that it dries faster? Or hang it in the shade so the fabric doesn't get sun-bleached?
I've never even asked myself those questions.
That's why you are the perfect candidate for hanging the laundry. Dedicated, efficient. If it were up to me, I would mentally descend into an abyss of doubt and it would never get done. Also, if you hadn't let me distract you, you'd be done already.
Now that's an extractor.
Exanova settled all the way out here?
They've traveled billions of lumsects to come to source. They're not gonna back down because they saw a sticky swamp.
All right, give me those medical plants of yours. Time to fire up the synthesizer. With this thing, we'll be right back on our feet.
Are you sure you know how?
I have a synthesizer in my ship. Of course I know how these work.
No, wait, that's not the way.
I know what I'm doing.
Really? Because at this stage, you should...
Ugh! Look, I've always done it this way, and it's always worked out. You're not gonna tell me how to use my own synthesizer.
All right. All right, as you wish.
Haha! There! What do you say about that?
All right. I didn't know you could also do it that way.
And?
Sorry I doubted you.
And?
I love you?
Okay, that's not what I was expecting, but it'll do.
All right, this works.
Awesome. Could you build a gyro stabilizer for the nest?
I can only make kind of simple things, like flow capsules. Hold on, let me show you. Just take a bit of rust and... And here it is, a brand new capsule. Just need to activate it during combat in order to use it.
Oh, so no gyro stabilizer then?
Sorry.
No need to be sorry. No worries. This is good. I mean, this is great. Really great. If you could just explain to me what the flow capsules do when you get a chance. 'Cause I missed that part.
Individual U, individual K. Please follow us. Do not try to resist.
Or else? Oh! It's like that.
What the bloot? How did you know that we were here? Are you out of your mind?
Come on, let's bounce.
Attempted escape notified. Self-defense mode activated.
Self-defense? Seriously?
You go first!
No! You go first!
They have flow jammers. If they catch us both, we're done.
I'll get you out of there!
Much better.
No kidding.
You go ahead!
Desperate times!
If this doesn't do it...
You want more?
Ready?
Ready! He's losing his balance. That was just a sample.
You go first.
No! Unhorn it down.
That's it! You show 'em! Back in the saddle. Take cover!
And we blast off.
Go!
That was just a sample.
Ready?
Ready.
In your face! You go first.
No, you go first. There's no time to waste. Desperate times.
If that doesn't do it...
They're up to something. So as usual. And we blast off.
Go!
He's losing his balance.
Whenever you want.
Now? I've stunned him.
Ready?
Ready.
Are you okay? After you.
It's not working. We need more power.
We can do it.
Yes, that's it. Looks like this is working. And we blast off.
Go!
Unhorn it down.
Whenever you want.
Now? He's losing his balance.
Ready?
Ready. You okay?
No! Help me! I owe you one.
No sweat. Desperate times.
If this doesn't do it...
Unhorn it down.
You go first.
No, you go first. There's no time to waste. Blast off.
Go!
Unhorn it down.
Ready?
Ready.
Take cover!
usual?
We're doing good. Let's keep it up. You go first.
No! You go first!
Okay. Get ready to rumble.
And we blast off!
Go!
He's losing his balance.
Ready?
Ready! I've stunned him. Desperate times.
If that doesn't do it.
There's no time to waste.
You go first.
No! You go first. Careful! He's losing his balance. We blast off.
Go!
There's no time to waste.
Ready?
Ready! I've stunned him.
Whenever you want.
Ow!
Root! After you. Ready?
As usual? I never thought we'd make it through. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Don't worry. We fried their circuits. They're not gonna come back online on their own. Okay. This is definitely the apiary's signature. And they seem to be receiving orders from somewhere nearby.
What? That would mean that there's someone else on source.
No. I think there's some kind of relay antenna. I would assume that the orders are coming from top. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Why send Hornets? I was pretty sure the Council would try to bring us back to the apiary, but this seems over the top. I mean, those things could have killed us. Okay, we might have broken a handful of rules, but it's not like we're criminals.
We did just destroy 3 Hornet drones.
Oh. So it won't get easier, will it?
Unlikely. We're gonna need some help.
From who? There's no one else on this planet, Kay.
You said that the Hornets are receiving orders from the apiary by way of an antenna nearby. Perhaps we could use it to get in touch with the apiary. If there is a relay antenna, there must be a communications post, a vid chat, or something of the sort.
And who would you call? No, not her.
Do you know of anyone else who might have an inside track on the Council's decisions and who we can trust?
Trust? Didn't you see all the Exanova logos everywhere? That's her company. She's clearly knee-deep in this business.
She's also your mother.
Yeah, well, she's clearly not the most upstanding of the two.
We don't need upstanding. We need information. Look, hopefully, she can convey our side to the Council. Convince them to call off the Hornets.
Okay. I'll add the coordinates to the radar. But just so you know, I do not condone this idea. Are you seeing anything now?
Nothing. It's all black.
And now?
Ah, there's a bit of white noise.
And now?
White noise and some skips.
And now?
Now it just skips.
Ugh.
Oh, what did you just do?
I did nothing at all.
Then keep on doing nothing. I think the image just got clearer. Okay, I think it's all good to go. Are you ready?
No. But waiting isn't gonna make things easier. So let's get this out of the way.
Arena listening?
Mom?
You? Is that you?
Yeah. Me and Kay.
Hello.
Where are you two? Are you doing okay?
We're on Source, and...
Oh no. Did you really make it to Source? You need to leave right away. The Council has ordered Hornet drones to be sent on your trail.
Yeah, we know that.
We have, taken care of it.
You are completely insane.
They started it.
It's even worse than I thought.
What? What is worse? Can you just tell me what's happening?
After you disappeared, the Council issued an advisory notice about you. That was a bad idea. People started to imagine things. That you might have managed to fall off the apiary's radar. That you might be starting a new life together in outer space against the decisions of the matchmaker.
And? That's pretty accurate.
That's the issue. You two have become a symbol. People are talking about following your lead. The Council cannot allow this to happen. And then there was this signal coming from a supposedly abandoned planet. Listen, you need to come home immediately. I can fix all of this. I can placate Lord Ozius.
What? Why Lord Ozius?
Because he's furious. What did you expect?
I don't understand.
Don't tell me that you're not aware.
Aware of what?
There are a lot of things we weren't aware of. Here's a random one. Source was colonized?
Yes, that is another issue. You weren't supposed to see that.
See what, exactly?
What have you seen?
Quit stalling. What happened on Source? Why aren't people aware of what happened in this colony? Why is everything deserted?
Okay. Yes, Exanova has contributed to the settlement of a colony on Source. At the time, I was only vice president. And no one knows because it happened differently. Rather than integrating the planet to the apiary, they decided to make an external colony.
What does that mean?
It means that they only came in to plunder the flow.
It's a little more complex than that.
Uh-huh.
But yes, broadly speaking, that's it. Exanova had just completed work on a new experimental power plant. Its drill could extract flow directly from the planet's core. Then the flow was condensed to make transport easier.
Huh. That seems dangerous.
As long as the plant is properly maintained, it's safe.
And then?
The plant was not properly maintained. After about 30 years, the infrastructure started to age. The president of Exanova at the time figured that replacing it would be too costly. Well, you saw the end result.
The rust?
I'm sorry?
The rust. That red stuff. It's everywhere.
Oh, that. Sure, kind of. But what I meant was the explosion. The capacitor tank started to develop a crack. The flow became unstable, which triggered a chain reaction into the core, and...
Did you?
Hold on. You precipitated the explosion of an entire planet just for some flow?
It's an unfortunate chain of events, which...
And the people. The people who lived and worked on Source. What happened to them?
Most of them were evacuated, but some weren't so lucky. I would love to give you more details, but you don't have a lot of time. The Council has decided to make an example of you. If they catch you here, there's nothing I can do for you. But if you come back now, I could probably smooth things over. We'll match you up with your respective mates. We'll get you to read a disclaimer letter. We'll make something up. Everything will be back to normal.
Everything's already normal. Everything's already normal. I love Kay, and Kay loves me. We're together. That's normal.
But you're not the only two people in this universe. Think about the others. Think about the long run. The matchmaker may not be the best system, but it's the least bad that we found. Do you want to go back to the days of the Mark? Recreate the inequalities that the Elders have worked so hard to erase. You really think you're much happier now? That's great. But your selfishness has already left 2 other people in the dust. So now, can you imagine if everyone did what you did?
Everyone would be happier.
Of course not. Sure, everyone loves to complain about the matchmaker every now and then. But everyone is a lot more scared of what the alternative might be. The matchmaker is a guarantee. It ensures what we are building together will not crumble beneath our feet. The promise of a future. Durable, everlasting. Can you say that you'll hold that promise?
Absolutely. We love each other.
But you will also love your mates, and they will love you back. Love does not have to be a large fire which consumes everything. You have to build it, you have to keep it alive. Just like the chimney fires in fairy tales which keep us warm in the winter. Isn't that kind of love at least as beautiful as yours?
Huh.
You. Have you ever in your life had to question the love that your mother and I had for each other? Was it any less than the one that you share?
No, but
Love is greater and more complex than you can imagine. Love always finds a way. You will always find a way as well. We'll have to act fast to clean up your mess.
Our mess. What about your mess? Who's gonna clean that up? Who will fix Source?
Source is history.
So is the apiary. Come on, you. Let's go.
No, wait, you can't!
I'm sorry I insisted on contacting her. I didn't think that...
I know. I'm used to it. Kay. Do you mind if we go back to the nest? I'm not really feeling up to anything, actually.
You know what? You're right. Let's go home. Are you okay? You haven't said a word the whole trip back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay. It's just a lot to take in. I can't believe my mom hid all this from me. This whole time.
Get in here. At least now we know. That's what we wanted, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's still one thing I don't really understand. She mentioned Lord Osius at one point. I don't understand what that Boran has to do with all this. He's too young to have been involved in the whole secret colony thing. I mean, sure, he's pretty tight with the council, but I still don't get how this is any of his business.
I think I know.
Oh yeah?
Do you promise you won't get mad?
What? Why would I get mad?
It's about the guy I was matched with.
Who cares about that guy, though?
Right. I mean...
Hold on. Are you telling me that Osius is your partner? Osius? The Osius, Blood Hole in Chief.
The very one.
And you are telling me now?
You promised you wouldn't get mad.
I'm not getting mad. But you... Still, this is one of the most influential and demented people in the apiary. You never considered that I might find this tidbit to be important?
I was scared you would change your mind if I told you.
I might have changed my mind, yes. Fleeing the apiary is one thing. But Lord Osius is a maniac. You humiliated him by refusing the match. He'll never give up on us.
I humiliated him? We left together in case you missed it.
He is your partner.
So it's my fault that I was matched up with a psychopath?
All I'm saying is that you could have told me. It's also a matter of establishing trust, you. You know, just 5 minutes ago, you were complaining about your mom hiding stuff from you. But you're doing the exact same to me. Obviously, you got that from her.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea who you're taking after, but I understand why they no longer wanted you.
Wow. Seriously? Couldn't pick a better angle?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Oh yeah? What did you mean then?
I don't know. You're raising your voice. I'll raise mine. It just came out.
Well, let me tell you that I'm quite shocked by what just came out. Is that how you spoke to Osius?
Okay. That's it. Go bloot yourself, Kay. I don't want to hear from you.
Works for me. I have nothing left to say. You? You? Where are you hiding? You? Okay, well, great. Alright then, I don't care. I have the nest to myself. Okay, you. You won. I can't stay mad at you. Come back. Let's talk about this calmly. You? Are you there? I'm sorry about last night, but really it was kind of your fault as well. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Please, come back. Woot. Okay. Everything's fine. I'm alive. But you, if anything happened to her, I'll... You? This isn't funny! I'm getting worried! If you're trying to make me feel guilty, well, you won. Where are you? When you were leaving home in the middle of the night in the apiary, you did so to come and join me. But now, you don't even have anyone else to go to. Anyone to talk to. Huh. The vid chat. You? You! No!
Kay?
Oh, you scared me. I thought you were...
Oh!
Don't move. You might have broken something.
No, I think I'm okay. This isn't the highest I've fallen.
What happened?
I don't know. I was angry. I wanted to get back to the vid chat to tell my mom to come and get me. And then, when I got back up there, I realized it was completely stupid. But I couldn't go home either, and I was still angry, and I was sad. And I was ashamed. And I was scared of your reaction if you knew that I came here. So, I just stayed up there, crying. And right when my legs started hurting from standing and my eyes started hurting from crying, boom bada boom. I am so sorry, Kay.
No, I'm sorry. I should have never said those things to you.
Do you still love me?
No, I love you even more.
What? But why?
I love you a little more every second that passes. That's how it is. You can't fight it. Ah, see? Right now I love you a little more. And now a little more. We have to get back together soon, because I don't know what to do with all this love.
You idiot.
Can you walk?
I think I can.
Okay, great. You should try to walk along the edge. I'll do the same. We'll find a way to cross eventually.
And if there's no way?
Then we'll make one.
Okay. Walk along the edge. Walk along the edge. He can talk. He didn't even say which way I should go.
You?
Okay? Okay!
I told you we'd find a way.
Yeah. Well, I'm the one who did all the work.
Are you crying?
No. Let's not fight again.
Agreed. At least that's one topic we won't fight over.
You know, when I was up there, I realized something. I don't know if they'll keep sending in drones. I don't know if we can live here. I don't know if we'll end up at the bottom of a crevasse one morning, or torn to shreds by a beast that was too big for us to handle, or put to death by the apiary. But I know that I never want to be away from you again. And if staying here is the only way, then I want to stay here.
How do I seal this deal?
A kiss. Hey, by here, I meant source. Not like right here. You can let go of my butt now.
No.
Okay. I saw a large door with a weird symbol not far from here. I'll have to show it to you when I get the chance.
What's behind it?
I don't know, actually. I wasn't able to open it.
Did you try a flow burst?
Of course I tried. What do you think I am?
Alright. I guess you'll have to show me.
That's what I'm telling you.
The symbol. It's the same as on my medal.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to show you. Do you understand any of this?
No. And what is this?
No idea. There's no button, no lever, nothing. Whoa. What did you do?
Nothing. I just waved my medal and
Are you telling me that your medal is actually some kind of key?
I have no idea. But in any case, it's open. So are we gonna check out the other side?
Of course. Unless you have a better idea. Okay, then. These buildings are a lot more sinister than the others. Do you think that's the experimental plant my mom mentioned?
Very likely so.
Which blew everything up. It doesn't look so big.
I'm guessing it goes deep, though.
I don't understand. How could such a small drill cause an entire planet to explode?
I guess it acted as a catalyst.
Sorry, I still don't understand.
I'm not sure I understand it either. At best, I have a hypothesis. Whatever that's worth.
Please, tell me.
Okay, so, you know how the planets are set up, kind of?
A big flow core with crust all around it.
That's right. Irena said the plant was sourcing flow directly at the core, and that it was condensing into a solid state to facilitate transport.
So that would be the rust.
No. Actually, I'm thinking of something else. Whatever it was, something went wrong. And instead of condensing normally, the flow degraded into rust. And this degradation would have propagated along the drill path and into the core.
Okay, there's no need to use air quotes every time.
Sorry.
So then?
Well, kind of like water and ice, if you will. The rust occupied more space than flow. When the flow core turned into rust, it expanded against the crust all around it, which ended up cracking. Kind of like leaving a bottle in the freezer for too long.
And the rust leaked out of the cracks.
I guess so. Otherwise, it came out of geysers, volcanoes, whatever.
Okay. That makes sense. Which leads me to my second question. Why do you have the key to this thing around your neck?
If I knew.
What was that you picked up?
I'm trying to figure it out. It looks like rust, but it's a lot heavier and slicker.
Let me see. Hey, it's kind of warm, too.
Weird, huh?
Do you think that's what they were making here? The, ultra-concentrated flow thing?
Yes, possibly. I'd need some time to analyze it in the nest.
More housing.
These aren't too desolate. You wouldn't know that they've been abandoned all these years.
It might not have been that long.
Huh?
My mom said that she was still vice president when it all blew up. And I remember when she got that position. I was little, but I remember there was a party. Which means that this whole explosion thing happened afterward. Like 20 years ago at most.
That's weird. To think that we were alive at the time. That we were just chilling, watching cartoons, and meanwhile a whole planet was exploding.
We weren't exactly old enough to do anything about it. Or even understand any of it.
Right, that's true. but that puts things into some perspective. Shall we check if one is open?
Let's go. What? A hollow bug?
So that's what was in the cocoon. But who?
Ah, here you are, finally. I knew you wouldn't stray far from your nest.
Osius?
That's funny. I was fully expecting to find you two all skin and bones, matted hair, living like frightened animals. But you look very healthy. Especially you. You are resplendent. So, it seems like the Hornets weren't too much of a hassle. For the record, I personally objected to sending them. I preferred a more peaceful approach. But you know the Council. Always so reluctant to live with the times.
What do you want?
Same as ever. You.
In your dreams?
Perhaps we should let the interested party decide, my boy. You. I know we got off on the wrong foot, you and I. But you have been on my mind constantly. Ever since our brief and rowdy encounter last time. The matchmaker could not have made a better choice for the two of us. And I'm sure that deep down you think so too. Which is why I don't want to bring you back to top by force. I'm confident that you will join me there of your own volition. What can I say? I'm a sentimentalist. It's just one more thing we have in common.
We have nothing in common.
Oh, really? Both of us only children, raised on top, highly influential and neglectful parents. We developed a penchant for reckless behavior, desperately seeking attention. Both of us teenage prisoners of loneliness, stifled by our golden cages. And both of us self-willed adults, choosing to carve our own paths, in spite of what society tells us. We are the same, you, and I'm eager for you to realize it. And I'm ready to show some goodwill until you do. So give me your conditions. Anything you want, I will do everything I can to satisfy you.
I want Kay.
I see. Some habits are hard to shake. Give me a chance. Take some time to know me. And after a while, if I'm still falling short for you, and you want to see Kay from time to time, I won't stand in your way.
You really don't understand, do you?
Oh yes, you. I understand. I understand not to take you for granted. I even understand the odds look against me. But I never imagined that a mere holographic visit would be sufficient to convince you. You see, my purpose was merely to announce my impending arrival. Been held up by a few council matters, but I'll be on my way soon. It's an opportunity to spend some time together. Learn to know one another. And to visit this source I've been hearing so much about. I'm sure my companionship will quickly change your mind. You'll see. And if that's not the case, then too bad. We can always recalibrate.
What?
Goodbye, you. See you very soon.
No, wait, what? What did you just... Did he just talk about recalibrating?
He did, but...
I knew it. It's not a rumor. Recalibration really does exist.
Calm down. He's probably bluffing.
Why would he be bluffing? What blooting good would that do?
He's trying to scare us.
For what? So that I fall right into his arms, fear-stricken? What's the plan there? No, there is no way he's bluffing. That boron has never had to bluff in his entire life. And if anyone has access to those kind of rotten practices, he does. Oh, they are going to recalibrate us. We'll have nothing left from one another.
We don't know that.
Could we sit down somewhere? My legs are feeling a bit wobbly.
I guess we must be pretty close to the origin of the flow bridge. I've never seen it look so impressive.
Please, enough with this bridge.
Huh?
I mean, it is the entire reason why we are having problems. Osius, the drones.
But the bridge is also the reason why we're here.
I know. But like, what if only we were able to use it? Maybe it could work just for us and no one else. I'm just asking for one little change in the universal laws of physics. Is that too much?
It could work.
What? Changing the universal laws of physics?
No. I mean, if this bridge weren't here, we'd be completely cut off from the other planets in the apiary. No one could come and get us.
Yeah, That's what I said.
No, you don't understand. We could sever the flow bridge.
Are you serious right now?
Why not? A flow bridge is only a big bunch of flow threads woven together. If we can absorb a flow thread, maybe we could...
Are you even listening to yourself? There's not a big bunch of flow threads. There are millions of them.
Yeah, you're right, that's stupid.
I wouldn't call it stupid. On the contrary, it's an excellent idea. But it doesn't seem very realistic.
But we've never been the realistic type.
That's true. Okay, let's keep that in the back of our heads for now. And if we can't come up with anything better, we'll try it.
Works for me.
Is that a ship?
It used to be. Swarm 800. Class A liner ship. The kind we use to settle new colonies. Probably the kind we use to evacuate them as well.
And, how many people can you fit on a Swarm 800 exactly?
I'm not sure you really want to know.
You okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I just need to get used to the thought that my mom has hundreds of deaths on her conscience.
Wanna take a break?
No. Right now, I just really want to sever this bloating flow bridge.
Then let's go.
Hey, did you check if those apple dews we ate last were fresh? Because I think I'm hallucinating. Right now, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I see a Wadoo's turbine.
I'm not sure what a Wadoo's turbine looks like, but I'm seeing something as well.
Blute, it's real! I have been dreaming of adding this turbine to the nest, but they stopped producing them over 20 years ago, and I wasn't the only one seeking them out.
Do you think it still works?
I know it still works. That is precisely why everyone wants one. And the reason Wadoo's went bankrupt. Their turbines are literally indestructible.
Handy. I'm guessing you'd like to go back and test it on the nest.
You're reading my mind.
Need help carrying it?
Please. A job well done. There we go. Now we'll never need to recharge the nest ever again. It can draw its flow directly from the ground.
Is that safe?
Nothing is safe, Kay. That's what makes life so exciting.
Huh.
But it's pretty safe. Rather unlikely to blow up the nest or anything.
Rather unlikely?
Well, we made it all the way here. That was rather unlikely. And yet, look at us.
So right now you're telling me that it's entirely possible it might blow up the nest.
Okay, I might have got a little confused in the way of my argument there. But I have been working on this for 2 hours. And I'm tired and sore everywhere. Speaking of which, I think I deserve a massage. What do you say?
I'd say it's rather unlikely.
Is that rather unlikely as in rather unlikely the nest will blow up? Or rather unlikely as in rather unlikely we made it all the way here?
You'll see.
So, is this rust or is this not rust?
Depends on how you define rust.
A kind of ruddy substance that dissolves in flow?
Then it's not rust. It has the same components, but no matter how much flow I throw at it, it won't budge. On the contrary, flow seems to evaporate when they come into contact.
Evaporate?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word. It's absorbed, consumed? I mean it disappears.
Oh yeah. Then it's like hyperrust.
Not quite. Hyper kind of implies a superior state, an excess. But there's no difference between the composition of this rust and the rust we already know. The only difference is the internal structure. whether that's a superior or an inferior state. I mean, you wouldn't consider ice to be hyper water, would you?
No. But I think that's because hyper water has an awkward ring to it, whereas hyper rust sounds pretty good.
Is this another one of those situations where you've decided that a thing should have a specific name and there's no way I could change your mind?
You can always try, but I really like hyper rust.
Okay.
Hey, wait, I just thought of something. You said that hyper rust consumes flow, but is there some kind of limit? A state of saturation?
I've depleted over half the Nest's batteries on it and didn't see a change. If there is a saturation state, it's on a whole different level.
Could it be that of a flow bridge, for example?
I can see where this is going, but how would you do it? We can't exactly throw hyperrest into the bridge and it will suck it all in. Best case scenario, it would cut a few flow threads and the bridge would come right back together.
But then we could grab the flow.
What?
With our gloves, our boots. Aren't we grabbing flow?
Sure, but nowhere near that amount.
Because the batteries are capped. But let's say I installed a bit of hyperrust on the glove circuit where the batteries are, for example. All of the flow it absorbed would collide with the hyperrust, which would evaporate or whatever. If, on top of that, I remove the safety on the gloves so that they could absorb several threads at a time, it would take a while, but it could take care of a whole bridge.
And you could do that?
If we had enough hyperrust, I think so.
Then let's get to work! Looks like we've arrived. It's...
Scary?
I was about to say hi, but yes, scary as well. Even with flying flow threads, we'll never get to the top of this mountain.
Yeah, there's only one thing we can do.
Climb up?
Finish fixing up the nest. I'm not sure what's happening, but we're really not on the same page today.
We can still go around, see if we can find anything.
My thoughts exactly.
Ah, see? Same page. Okay, well, this one's never flying again. Come on, are you trying to tell me that you're able to fix up this wreck?
I probably could. With the right tools, the right materials, the right replacement parts, the right garage, the right skills, and the right knowledge. But no. I was thinking about pilfering its rudder for the nest. With just a bit of work, I can mount it as a wing. That way, it'll feel like it's flying again. Speaking of, do you mind bringing this back to the nest now?
No problem. I can't wait to see how you'll do that. Just one piece left, and we'll be ready for takeoff.
Now that is a job well done.
Seriously, we knocked this out of the park. I didn't expect it to look so good.
I know, right? Check out the reclaimed garden table.
How'd you feel about eating out here?
I'm down. We could do that this evening if you want.
I don't know about the evenings. It may be a bit chilly. Daytime would be better. Then we could enjoy the sunshine.
Okay, but let's make sure I'm in the shade, lest I get sunburn.
We can move the tarp. Also, we'll probably have to bring out some cushions, because the seating is a little rough.
And a tablecloth, too. I wouldn't want to stain my suitcases.
Okay, then I guess we'll have to wait for a day with no wind.
I just hope there won't be too many bugs.
We'll never eat out here, will we?
No, probably not. But I'm still happy we set up this table.
Me too. I have another abandoned drone.
Poor little guy. He must be wondering where everyone went.
What kind is that?
Drop hat.
Drone for autonomous pat roll?
Almost. Drone for autonomous patty cake. It's a drone that plays patty cake. No, I'm joking. It's patrol. Looks like this one's fully loaded. It's got hypo propellers.
Is that good or not good?
Adds a lot of weight, uses a lot of energy, but it allows you to land on uneven terrain. Like if we didn't have those on the nest, we would have crashed.
Pretty good then.
Pretty good. Let's take it.
Right now, or...
Yeah, let's get it over with. To the nest! Ta-da!
So, as the mistress of the house, how do you like it?
Yes! This looks a whole bloop better now. I'm sorry. Take two. That wasn't a very mistressy answer. Well, sir, I dare say that these lanterns and curtains in the entranceway are adding an undeniable flair to this humble ship.
Oh, do they? My lady, I do declare these tapestries were hand-sewn from the utmost luxurious bath towels.
Delightful.
And these luminaries were handcrafted using the ancient art of papier-mâché.
You don't say. Truly, Master K, you have worked some miracles. I cannot wait to observe what you have achieved with the interior adornments.
If you would please follow me into the bedroom.
Oh, Master K, how cavalier!
I am sorry, my dear. I don't know what came over me. Might your presence be giving me vertigo, as it were?
That was nonsense.
Carry on with the scene.
Oh, what do you say we take a look at the dining room? I am eager to discover the delectable feast which your kitchen clerks have prepared for us.
Yes. I'm afraid my clerks have taken leave for the day.
Thus, we shall content ourselves with your own cooking talents, as I am sure you would never allow for a lady's stomach to stand idle.
I wouldn't dare.
That was the last piece.
You know what? This looks nice. It's almost like new.
I think we're both too young to know what it would have looked like new. But it did age gracefully. However, we're gonna have to clear out all this stuff lying around before we can take off.
Yeah, seems like it. Come on, time's a-wasting. Ozius could show up any minute now.
Couldn't we just enjoy this for another 5 minutes?
Yes, of course. We'll go when you're ready.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What's that? Any chance that the half-ton angry rust has something to do with this?
Blast right, he deserved that!
There you go!
Oof! Whenever you want!
Now?
Okay, now he seems angry. Oh! I think we touched a nerve.
Struck a nerve.
With love!
Got him! There you go! Loot!
Ready?
Red, careful! But why? Desperate times!
If this doesn't do it,
Now's the time!
Okay, but time for what?
Getting worn out!
After you!
We're getting there! Careful! Better safe than sorry!
oh, I give up!
You got it!
You stay on!
Nice aim! They're stronger than we are!
Don't move!
Defense is the best offense.
Got it!
My shield is
right timing.
Ow! Right in the eye!
You got it. Good eye.
I'll handle it! Yes!
You're getting all worked up.
So, let's go.
That's it! Giving it all!
Any other takers?
Ah! Ready to block!
Got him.
Ah!
You! There you go.
Yes! So cool! Oh, we could do better. I'm not really blocking any longer.
There you
Ah!
Loot.
Shield isn't much use anymore. Nice shot. Yes!
I take
Ah!
you.
I'm not really blocking any longer. No! Ah!
Loot.
That's it! Giving it all! Shield isn't much use anymore. Like, what have we ever done to them? Yes! So cool! I'm not really blocking any longer.
There you go.
Yes! Ah! Shield isn't much use anymore.
There you go. Same as usual. One down.
You got the last one?
Bye-bye.
I never thought we'd make it through.
Well, I am not sorry to see that one go.
It didn't disappear.
What?
Look.
Hyper rust. That's why it was absorbing our flow attacks.
Well, at least we took this beating for a good cause. This should be enough for you to upgrade the gloves, don't you think?
Looks about right.
So, what are we waiting for?
Well, here goes nothing.
Do you think it'll work?
Oh, it works. But will it work the way that we want it to? Which means 1, long enough to consume an entire flow bridge, and 2, that it won't blow up in our faces when the hyper rust reaches capacity. I have no idea. I can't really do a full-scale test.
So after all this, can we still store the flow?
Of course. I just added an alternative circuit with hyper rust. We'll just need to switch it when we need to sever the bridge. And it'll work just like the flow bursts.
Severing the flow bridge. That also means cutting off our way home. Even our way out of source.
Yeah,
Is that really what we want?
I don't know. What are our other options? That's what I thought. Ugh. I can't relax.
Same.
Hopefully it'll be over soon. Gyro stabilizer.
Check.
Servo rotors.
Check.
Hollow Spectre.
Which one is the Hollow Spectre again?
Doesn't exist. Just checking if you're paying attention. Okay then, everything looks almost operational.
Perfect.
No, not perfect. We're talking about aviation here, not cooking. The word almost should be your greatest fear.
but you're finding this funny.
Oh, come on. If I were afraid of flying accidents, I'd ride a scooter, not a Class D spaceship.
Come on then, let's get the nest off the ground.
Roger that. That's as close as I can get.
I know. That means we'll have to walk the rest of the way. Are you ready?
To set aside the apiary once and for all? I've been waiting for this moment. Told me that one day we'd be hurtling down the side of a volcano together.
I don't think that I would have been surprised. I always knew you were trouble.
The rust is burning my throat.
Keep it up. We're almost there.
So, that's where the rust came from.
Sure looks like it.
I can't even imagine how hot it is in there. One splash, and we're literally toast. I wasn't expecting that severing the bridge would be easy, but I definitely didn't think we'd have to give up even before we'd reached it.
Who said we were giving up?
Well, you can see we have a problem.
We've made it all the way here.
It's certain death, Kay.
We have our anti-gravity boots.
That's besides the point. Even 1 meter above the rust, the temperature must be 1,000 billion degrees. And even if we manage to avoid the drops and make it to the other side in one piece, who's to say our plan will even work? We've never cut a flow bridge before. I don't even know if the gloves will really work. I thought it might be worth a shot. This is beyond trying our luck, though. We'd be risking our lives.
Well, I trust you.
If you trust me, then believe me when I say you shouldn't go for it. It's not worth it. Nothing is worth losing you.
Which is precisely what's going to happen if we don't sever this bridge. Ozius is going to show up any day now. And knowing him, he'll certainly bring a platoon of Hornets along. And if they don't do the job, they'll send more. How long do you think we can last? They will separate us, you. They will recalibrate us, match us with our respective mates. and there will be nothing left of us. Not even a memory. Nothing. Nothing. I don't know what's on the other side of this rust, but at least there's something.
Okay, but on one condition. You have to promise me that everything will work out. We're gonna cross this lake of rust, sever this bridge, and come back alive. Or else it isn't worth the risk. Or else I would rather forget. No chivalrous sacrifice. No bloating heroic act. We're going. We're severing the bridge, and we're going home. Okay?
Okay.
Promise?
Promise. No. We said no bloating heroic acts.
Sorry, but I promise nothing. Ow! Oh, it burns.
Sorry.
It's no big deal. I'll be all right. Just avoid any contact with it.
I'm sorry. I should have never insisted.
Don't be ridiculous, Kay. Look, we made it. We passed through. Ugh! Now we just need to sever this bloating bridge.
No, don't move.
I told you, it'll be all right. It hurts the same whether I'm moving or not. Come on. Let's get this over with.
We won't be able to absorb all of this at once.
Then we'll do one bit at a time.
Over there. The flow threads seem more sparse.
It's the moment of truth. Switching to hyper-rust mode.
It worked!
I hope it'll last. There's still a bunch of threads left to deflect.
Here! Another!
All yours.
Maybe you should take a break. I think I can manage on my own.
Don't even think about it.
The bridge is waning!
As it should.
I think that the gloves are starting to overheat. My fingers are starting to burn.
About half of my body is burning. Only one left. After that, it's over. No going back. No more apiary, no more space travel, nothing.
So what are we waiting for?
System damaged. Individual
If only you knew how long I've been waiting for this. This is gonna be so good.
Yeah, if it even works. What's that thing you say? Let's not start pushing before the panties are pulled down?
Of course it's gonna work. With all of your talent and mine put together, how could it fail?
Stop it. You're gonna be bad luck.
Wanna bet a creamberry fondue that it's gonna work?
So, either way, we're having fondue tonight?
Correct.
Works for me.
What now?
Now we draw.
It works! It works!
Creamberry fondue forever!
We can swing by the vegetable patch when we're done playing around. I saw a few nice ones yesterday that looked almost ripe.
This is gonna look so nice. think we're gonna run out of seeds?
Don't worry, we have plenty. I don't think we have to cover this whole area.
We'll see. Looks a bit empty there.
This must be quite a sight from the sky.
That was the wrong way. I wonder why we're bothering to plant a bit of everything, when we could just focus on intensive cranberry cultivation.
We need a little variety in our diet, lest we get tired.
Why? I'm not getting tired of you yet.
All right. Are we gonna have this fondue?
Yes?
Great. I was wondering, the weather's kinda nice. Do you want to set up outside for a change?
Definitely. Start the fondue, I'll set the table. Whew.
I didn't think we'd get through all that.
What's for dessert?
You have some room left?
I'm kidding. We do have some apple brew left. Want any?
All right then. We are on vacation after all.
Every day is vacation.
Exactly.
To us.
And to source.
Which reminds me, we're gonna have to tape up the nest's flow intake tomorrow. I think I saw a leak.
Yes. And also, we need to consider pruning our apple dew buds. They're gonna take over the whole vegetable patch if we let them.
Bloot. Guess we're not on vacation after all.
Well, we can rest when we're old.
Okay. The only things we do here are cooking, handiwork, and gardening. We are old.
You're right. Speaking of which, it's past our bedtime. What are we still doing up?
Wait. We haven't checked the gauges.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So, what does it say?
0.174 minus 0.090 plus 0.122.
Huh. It's more than yesterday.
A lot more?
Not much, but it kind of confirms our theory. Source's orbit has deviated.
Other than that, I'm not seeing the bridge. Looks like it's not forming back.
At least that's some good news. Now we can sleep soundly.
Are you sleepy at all?
Not really. Someone's thinking about the apiary.
Huh? No. Well, kind of. But kinda not. I was thinking about us. What we've done.
We've severed a balloon flow bridge.
Yeah. About that. It's like the biggest decision I've ever made in my life. By a very long stretch. I thought I would feel changed. Like an entirely new person. But no. I'm not feeling any different, mentally. I mean, I don't think I've taken it all in yet. You know, it's kind of like when someone you don't see much dies. You understand it, you accept it, but really, concretely, it changes absolutely nothing in your daily life. The only difference compared to before is that you wouldn't be able to see that person if you wanted to. And you really don't remember they're dead until you want to see them. Right now, it feels like the entire apiary is dead. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to go back.
Does that make you sad?
It doesn't make me anything. Sad, happy. Nothing. You know, I don't think it's hit me yet. I'd like it to stay that way, actually. I really hope it never hits me.
Will you tell me if that happens?
Who else could I tell?
What about your skin? Does it still hurt?
No. I can barely feel it anymore. I don't know if it's the Lufacrid oil, or if my immune system has just accepted it, but at least it stopped stinging. It feels better. It feels... okay.
Still haven't noticed any superpowers? Remotely controlling the rust, making flow appear out of your hands?
No. I'm just super ugly.
Oh yeah? I personally like your new look. You have this robo-glam attitude with the spikes and everything.
Oh, please.
I'm serious. I think I like you better this way.
Stop it. You can't be serious. But it's nice of you to say. And since you're not put off doing what you did to me earlier, then no worries. I am happy.
Wherever, whenever.
Here and now.
Just what I wanted to hear.